Hello and welcome to Sonic Week. For my videos this week I decided I would do some of the Sonic games that I've got in my collection. This is Sonic the Hedgehog, the first game that came out on the Sega Mega Drive. Now I'm playing this on the Mega Drive collection on the PlayStation 3 and it's still rather good. I still love this game. I was never really that huge a fan of platform games, and Sonic was probably the first platform game that I really had time for, that I was really into. And the main reason behind that probably was because it played considerably differently to a lot of the platform games that were out there at the time. Sonic was very fast and really showed off what the Mega Drive was capable of. I mean, you know, okay, this is being played on the PlayStation 3, but anybody who ever played Sonic the Hedgehog on the original Mega Drive will testify that the game would get to ridiculous speeds, and for the very pretty graphics that it had, it was quite an amazing achievement. And it really was one of those games that showcased the possibilities of the Mega Drive graphics more than perhaps many others that came out at the time. Graphics, as you can see, are gorgeous, they're detailed, they're colourful, and when you add that to the fact that they can also fly at a remarkably high speed, it was technically an amazing game, and it was little surprised that Sonic became the flagship title and character for Sega. The one thing that perhaps Sega needed, that Nintendo had from the NES days, was an actual flagship character, and Sonic provided that. It was the really big character that Sega could come to rely on. They kind of tried with other characters, but it was Sonic was the one that stood out head and shoulders above all else. And although Mario had a head start, and a considerable head start, Sonic very quickly became just as an important character for Sega as Mario was for Nintendo. And it's not as if these games were rubbish. They weren't. These are always fondly remembered as being classic games. And what's interesting is that whereas Mario was kind of carried on with a consistency of being good quality, Sonic ultimately kind of suffered from becoming a victim of its own success, and that is that more modern Sonic the Hedgehog games don't tend to be as well received as the old ones were, which I think is kind of interesting, because I don't think that there are some terrible Sonic games out there, but for the most part they're not ghastly terrible. They just don't seem to capture the imagination as much as the early Sonic games did. And yeah, and it all started with this one. It's still actually, just thinking, what's kind of funny is I played Sonic living in England. I played the PAL version. Now, one of the things that always happened was the NTSC version of Mega Drive games ran faster than they did on the PAL. Now, that didn't really matter for a lot of games, but it does with Sonic, and playing Sonic emulated on the likes of the PlayStation 3 and the Sega Mega Drive collections, they used the NTSC code, which means this game runs notably faster than it did way back in the day when I had it, and I really struggle with it now. I mean, I completed this game many times on the Mega Drive, and there is a notable speed difference, and this is perhaps the only Mega Drive game that I've ever noticed that speed difference with. So that's my excuse for being rubbish, and I'm sticking by it. So anyway, thanks for watching this video, and please stay tuned for more Sonic videos coming up this week. Thank you for watching.